I'm Israel. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth. Damn, it's cold in my car. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the word in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed away serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. I couldn't let this situation happen without me speaking on it. I felt, to one degree or another, because I used to be part of that group. Of course, this is going into the whole, the situation with the Native American elder. And I'm not going to say spiritual elder, because he's not, unless he's coming with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, he's not my elder. And the House of Israel being there, which is the group that I was part of, I was with that group from about late 2001, maybe early 2002, all the way to like 2009, 2010. I don't think I made it to 2011. In fact, no. I was with DTA 2010, 2000 till 2012, and then, I came over with Men of Valor and been there ever since. But I did the work with Zabak for years. The brothers in the video, those brothers wasn't there when I was in that camp. The brother speaking, the Ephraimite, he's been in the truth since 1 West, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I'm 99% sure that that's the case. He was with AOC for a little bit, and then, he moved to the House of Israel. But honestly, all that stuff is really a moot point to what I'm really trying to say. Ultimately, my take on the video, and I'm only giving my take because I plan to edify. I'm not one of those guys that watches other camps' videos and critiques them. I think that's lame and that's played out. Unless somebody does something really, really wrong. In this case, I don't see anything that they did as really, really wrong. I will say that there's stuff that took place on the part of Amath Pagai that is just something that me and my camp don't do, which is, point at the so-called white kids and saying those are future school shooters and all that other stuff. I believe I saw that in the video. Because some stuff they said themselves, them so-called white kids. For one, you're going to have the media flip this and say that the Israelites were picking on a bunch of children. That's going to be the case. They're going to say we were bullies and we were picking on little children. Now, in those brothers' defense, white people age terribly. You got white teenagers that look like grown-ass fucking college kids. And they were surrounded. It was like 4 or 5 brothers from the House of Israel, and there was a ton of them little fucks. along with other grown people there. Well, no, they did say future school shooters, so they obviously had to know that some of them was underage. But still, that's what they are. The scriptures say the wicked go astray from the womb. You know what I'm saying? So they tell lies as soon as they be born. So that Make America Great Again shit, that hat represents racism, and hatred of immigrants and all of that. So yeah, you're wearing a hat that has a racist slogan on it anyway. Even if their story was true, that they just came out there for this and whatever. Also, another video is gonna go viral of those so-called same white kids harassing a fucking group of women. And someone told me, I can look into it, I don't know how true this is, but that those same kids was at a basketball game last year, or that same kids from that same school with blackface on, mocking black students. So like I said, I don't know how true that is, but that goes to show. But the main point that I wanted to get to is how this is going to be turned into persecution for the Hebrew Israelites. Now you have that, you have the video where the sodomite gets knocked the fuck out, and then another sodomite, square off with him or it. Then you got this video that literally is going to go viral, and then you had the the documentary that I was actually in, not voluntarily. I was just in the intro. A video of me reading was in the intro, where Truth After Knowledge, whatever the fuck they name the Ram Squad, whatever, they did a documentary talking about a polygamous cult, whatever. You know, you got all of that stuff. You got negative images of Israelites. You had the Obama movie with a group of brothers that was teaching, but they was kind of it kind of highlighted the bad parts of Israel, you know. So we're starting to be pushed out there to the forefront, you know. This is kind of a setup to our faces being put everywhere, and the persecution, because this is not going to be a good thing at first. Majority of people, when they first look at the videos and start seeing who's an Israelite out there in the streets teaching, we're gonna all be classified as a hate mongering, homophobic cult. But just like I said in a couple videos ago, homophobic isn't the proper term for people that hate homosexuals. Homophobic is the proper term for people that fear homosexuals. That's an insult to call me homophobic. And racist. Racist actually means, when you break down that word, it means love of or belief in your race or a race. Because you could be a white man that believes in the so-called black race, or vice versa. So racist is also a false terminology. So, you know, the weigh-in on that video, or my personal weigh-in on the video, is that the brothers went out there, did their job. Like I said, they did it in a way where, you know, is inconsistent with what we do. You know, we out there to raise up Israel. We not cursing out the so-called white man is secondary. When you go into the scriptures, I like to look at proportion. Most of the scriptures is talking about how Israel went off and Israel did bad. You know what I'm saying? So when I go out there in the streets, I'm gonna do more teaching to get my people right than to curse out white people. You know, we gonna do that too, though. Don't get it twisted. Scriptures do address the other nations, but they address Israel more than the other nations. So that's the weigh in on that. They went there, they did their job, and listen, you know, they put the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai out there. You know what I mean? My sheep hear my voice. There's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna watch the video and become interested and try to find out more about it, and that's where it's gonna get trickled down to us. That's why I don't camp bang. That's why you don't see me talk shit about, oh, House of Israel. You know, I had my issues with Zabak at one point. You know, we ironed it out. You know, we came to an understanding. You know, and honestly, that was a video that at the time, you know, probably had to be made. But, you know, I don't camp bang. You know, brothers that, just like Zabak, you know, and brothers out there that don't believe that the mark of the beast is the chip. This shows you the power of the ability to still wake up people without believing in the full truth. And it doesn't mean that I'm justifying that these men don't believe the chip is the mark of the beast, but they have a purpose out there. They're waking up people and bringing them back to the true nationality in the name of the Lord. So you have to have a certain level of respect for them, despite their shortcomings, because everybody's not on the same level. Everybody doesn't have the same level of understanding, and you have to understand the different reasons for different men doing what they do. Or actually, you know what? How about instead of trying to understand it, stop fucking worrying about them? You know, they did a good work, and like I said, you know, and what's funny is they're going to be praised by a lot of Israelites right now, but then as time goes on, then motherfuckers are going to go back to remembering, oh, but these guys teach Cornelius is Edomite, or these guys teach that, these guys teach this, you know, and then all of a sudden motherfuckers are going to go back to cursing them out again. So that's why I don't do that bullshit. I already know how I feel about those brothers, and that's it. That's not going to change. I'm not going to change with the wind. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to remember what these men teach, even though they did a good work here. Fuck them, you know. And I'm not doing all that. These men did a good work. I know what they believe in. I know what they teach, you know. And Esau is the devil. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some damn school shooters in there, even though that's a Catholic school. I've never heard of a Catholic school getting shot up. But, you know, you could shoot up a college, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like, they could, they're the devil, man. These guys are the devil. They're from Kentucky. You know, that's right next to the home of the fucking Ku Klux Klan. You know? Now, I'm not going to accuse these kids of being Ku Klux Klan members because they go to a Catholic school. You can't be Catholic and Ku Klux Klan at the same fucking time. You have to be a so-called white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. You know, for those that's not in the know. You know, but that's it, man. You know, I just wanted to kind of dissect this issue because it's going to be a big thing. You know, from what I hear, the Israelites are going to tell their side of the story on the news today. I guess the House of Israel, which is fine. You know, it's going to bring the persecution, but it's also going to lead to the fame. We're going to be the only ones with an answer to what's going on here. You know, and like I said, you know, you're going to have Israelites. You know, I believe that there's different Israelites with different purposes. Like, you know, say whatever you want about Danyala. He brings out history. Him and Hashar bring out history like crazy that we could use to edify people if we stop knocking them and start listening to them. Zabak and them, one thing about them that I gotta say, I have to say about them out of respect, those men jump into the fire. They teach in Times Square. I don't think they're gonna teach there for a while now after something happened over there recently, but they teach in Times Square at an hour where people are coming out of the clubs drunk and high. And you know, people already be in the clubs drunk and high ready to fight. Imagine outside the club being told the truth to your face. You know? Those men, like I said, they jump into the fire. They 9/11, if I was part of House of Israel, I would have got locked up on 9/11 because they went out there to teach. It was a Tuesday. And you know, Tuesdays, they teach on 34th, and at that time, they taught on 34th and 7th. This was right before I joined. They don't shy away from shit. You know, they go, you know, and now I guess with this new crop of brothers that's with the camp, not saying that they're new to the truth, but they're all like, you know, the group of brothers he has now, those brothers seem to be even more willing to, you know, they call themselves the pull-up boys. You know, they'll pull up on your ass, you know, which is cool. I didn't come in this truth to look at everybody and critique them and say, oh, you're doing the wrong thing. You know, like I said, I already said what I don't agree with that they said. You know, just stick to teaching the words, stick to Yahushua. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? All those kids, the devil, majority of them are. Then, you know, you might have some Jake, you know, whatever. But, you know, we out here to do a job. You know, this thing right here is going to get exposed. You know, the name is going to get exposed. It's going to be on the news. North Korea just, you know, just got discovered to have hidden nuclear bases or hidden missile bases. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Blood Moon happened just a night, like, not last night, but the night before last. You know, so we, you know, these are all signs that we almost out of here, man. We almost out of here. You know, and like I said, you know, it's funny how the Israelite groups that get all the publicity, those are the ones that you know, everybody likes to ostracize, but they're on TV. Fucking Israel United in Christ. I don't believe what they believe. I don't agree with a lot of what they say, and I do believe the leadership has sold out. But guess what? They did a power play that's going to be all over. That was all over the news, and people are now, you know, it contributes to people looking at the Israelites more. So now more Jake is going to wake up and say, yo, what's going on? Like, who are these guys? I want to read up some more. You know? That's all it's worth. If anything, if nothing else, it's worth that much, you know? So that's why I don't camp bang. I don't say, oh, fuck this camp. I don't do none of that shit. You know, I do my job, which is go out there in the streets and teach the word of the Heavenly Father. I put up videos, you know, that's it, man. Like we just sit here trying to live right, you know, and that's it. These brothers from the, I'm calling them brothers. I don't give a fuck. I'm not, what are they, niggas? These men out there on camera with the news cameras rolling, or they probably said it on YouTube and the news probably took it, but they said the name of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more respect can you give them? You know, these guys didn't say Christ. Jesus, none of that. They said Yahweh Bahashim Hamashiach Yahawashai. You know, you got to give them a certain level of respect for that. You can't look at them like they're total niggas, man. These guys are out there going hard for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Traveling all the way from New York City to Washington, D.C. You know, chancing getting fucking trashed and jumped. Because like I said about the House of Israel, ever since I was part of the House of Israel, and even after I left, and even before I joined the House of Israel, that camp jumps into the fire. They will go right into a fucking whirlwind or a situation. You know, I remember times we had to square off with a whole fucking set of fucking Navy men during Fleet Week. We didn't have to fight, but we was ready to, and we was literally like ready to. You know what I mean? You know, like the House of Israel goes hard for the Lord, man. All right, listen, men are gonna be men. Men are gonna make mistakes, or men are gonna fuck up in this truth. You know, and I'm not justifying the fuck ups of any of those men. You know, but those men are going out there going hard for the Lord, and you know the Lord is a just power. He's gonna reward them. You know, and that's it. You know, but that's it, man. I already done talked y'all ears off this morning. I called out from work sick, but I told my manager, I said, listen, you know, it's just a headache. It's a bad headache, but it's a headache. You know, I'll you know, rest a little bit and then come into work. You know what I mean? But with that, you know what I'm saying? You know, we almost out of here, y'all. You know, let's keep focusing on bettering ourselves and praying, you know, and hoping that we're the elect. You know, pray for each other, man. You know, even brothers that you know that piss me off or that have wronged me in the past. You know, Zabak has wronged me in the past. You know, it's the past. You know, he hasn't been a bad brother to me since. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to be forgiving in this thing too, man. That's another thing. If you love your people, you love Israel, you have to learn how to forgive Israel. You know, part of love is forgiving. You know, another part of love is, you know, you offend your brother, don't keep doing the same shit to offend your brother. You know what I'm saying? That's not too loving either. You know, but like I said, keep in mind, man, look at all the shit that's going on. These are tough times that's coming upon us. You know, rejoice, but also get ready for what's coming. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I'm going to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahawashai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the house of David. And when I say house of David, meaning, you know, Lord willing, the elders and you know, the elders of Israel, period. You know, salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed away serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh shall arise first. Shalom. Love y'all.